Hello, everybody. Welcome
Hello.
to Jutta Schweiger session, and it's about creativity. And I hope you enjoyed her presentation. So, Jutta, please, something about.
Hello, everyone. Um, yes, I hope that you enjoyed my presentation and you feel a little bit inspired. And I would like to hear your questions about it, about me, about my work, about my thoughts. Any questions?
My first question, not only for you, Jutta, but for every attendee here, what does the creativity mean for you? How do you feel it? How do you imagine it?
So, for me personally, creativity is what saves us all. This is what can just solve every problem. So that's why I choose this to be my favorite topic and to just use it for whatever I do in my life. And I just cannot stop studying on creativity, on creative thinking, and on creative problem solving.
So you came also from fashion industry.
Yes, I studied fashion
So
design. It's a
yes.
long time ago, but this is what I did in the past. I studied fashion design, and then I worked as a fashion designer and textile designer for many years, and then I changed the role. I went to the factories, and I'm still working with a lot of textile factories and trying to become become them to get a more sustainable mindset, to set up new mindset for new teams, for new collection developments. And at the same time, I'm working with brand owners who produce collections. And this textile industry is changing a lot, but there's not enough room for creativity.
Really? Even if
Yeah,
the fashion industry and designers should be creative, actually.
yeah. They should be and they have to be, but it's all under pressure. And I think creativity, again, for me, it means to solve problems and not only to create new things. For
Mm.
me, a creative product has to have a value. And on many aspects, fashion doesn't have this value. And there are lots of fantastic ideas and creative ideas, but the mainstream textile industry is not creative from my point of view. And so this is something that just keeps me running in this industry. But in general, creativity is the thing that I'm focused on.
So if I say because I think so, creativity is our way of life, for example, because during all the history, during all the centuries, people um, were creative, actually.
Yes,
Starting from prehistoric times and even now, we are much more creative. Is it so?
yes. We are all creative, but just not the same way.
Yes.
There is a creative thinking process we all go through automatically. It's an intuitive thing, and we have some preferences on the steps within this creative thinking process. And some people have higher preferences in ideating, and others have, for example, higher preferences in implementing. And this is how we can build really innovative teams and force all the creativity within one strong team.
Okay. Now the question for all the attendees and for you, Yuta, also. What is your favorite kind of creativity? For example, creativity can be art. like photography, painting, sculpturing, architecture, or maybe creativity for you means writing books, writing stories, poems.
So for me, creativity is in all our life. It's not just a special form like you just mentioned, music or arts or something like this. It's in everyday creativity. When I have a problem in my household and I just solve it, it's a creative process. So this is what I like about creativity. You can use it wherever you are, and everybody is creative. And it's about seeing things, being able to imagine new connections, taking things that you have already and connect them. There is this very famous story about the Nike Waffle trainer, this shoe. And it was founded by the founder and his wife during a breakfast when he made waffles.
Oh.
And he just saw this waffle, this tool where you make waffle. And when he saw it, he immediately found it that this pattern of the waffle could be the best pattern for the sole that he needs for the running shoes. This is just combining things, and with by combining things, creating a new useful tool, a new useful thing. And you know the success story of Nike. So what I find very inspiring is to listen to all these innovators today who really have so many new things to tell us and to show, to present. And I really hope that all these new tools and new technologies will be combined for good. This is what I hope.
Perfect. And Rajat, thank you for your answer. Creativity lies at the intersection of all domains out there, I guess. I suppose you are right, and Jutta just
Yes, I
right.
agree.
If
I
you have,
agree.
guys, if you have any questions, you can write it in chat, so we will answer them. And Rajat, there is a book called Mastery by Robert Greene. It is a great book and shows you how creativity develops over your life. Do you know this book?
No,
Jutta?
I don't know this book, but there are many books you can find about creativity. And I'm actually reading one book. It's by Stefan Klein, and it's called How We Can Change the World. And it's all about creativity and about it's like a history of creativity and how creativity changed human life, and how people survived through all the years just by being creative. And he's also writing about the question, how will future technologies influence us? And what I just learned in the Q&A session before with Misha, I was asking in the
Yeah, yeah.
poll about the question, how will creativity be in future, and will it grow, the human creativity? Because so many new technologies are coming, and maybe human people will not longer be able to be the only creatives. But there is one theory also from Stefan Klein, and what Misha really mentioned was it's our job to automate all the jobs as much as we can in order to humanize work. So what I said in my speech also, it's we have to concentrate on and focus on what we are strong at. And that's why we need to use all these tools, and why we need to implement all the technology into our life to make us free from all the just jobs that we need to do, this daily jobs that just waste our time in a way, because we need more time to be creative.
Do you believe that, for example, artificial intelligence can be more creative than human being?
No, I don't think so, because machines have been developed to create perfectly. You can program them and make them to do the best job, better than we ever do it. But they are not created to ask questions. So the thinking process and the ability to connect things that are not connected naturally, this is something that we have to do. We have to ask the right questions. And the best ideas are always coming from the questions. So never stop asking. You have to create problems in order to solve them. Does it make sense?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I
Okay.
believe so, because artificial intelligence, even if it's, let's say, it's very interesting achievement of humankind, in my
It is.
opinion.
Yeah.
But from the other point of view, it can be perfect, and probably perfection will kill creativity. Because when we start to do something, when we start to create something, for example, it never goes perfect. There are some mistakes. For example, if I don't know, if I start to paint, for example, because I'm not so good painter, on my paintings, on my designs, there will be a lot of mistakes.
But there
But
is no mistakes in
but
art.
but there is part of creativity, for example, or for example, like little children when they're drawing, for example, there are some so fantastic creatures, animals like cats with 3 legs, horses with 5 legs, with 2 heads, or something like that. And it's their way of being creative.
Yes, and it's their way of imagination. And this is what it's all about. It's all starting with your imagination. And if you have the imagination, then you can create the right questions. And when you have the question, then you can develop your innovation process. You can ideate, you can collect ideas on solving this problem. And then you can start trying out if one of these ideas might really solve your problem. So you have to go through all these processes, and at the end, you can implement your result. And if it comes to art, as you said, just painting and thinking about kids who draw as they imagine a cat to be, having 3 legs or 4 eyes or whatever, this is just showing what they imagine, and it's their perspective, and they are not um, they are not showing how a cat should be. They show the cat as they imagine it to be. So I think this is the difference.
With a new concept of being a
Yes.
cat.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a question like, can innovation happen at all without creativity?
I don't think so, because innovation is something new. So innovation is the product of a creative process, I would say.
Yes, because I suppose if we need something new, like, necessity is the mother of invention. But all these
Yes.
inventions, they start from a problem. Like, I don't want to eat with my hands, so
Mm-hmm.
I need a special object, like a spoon or a fork. And in this
Exactly.
case, I need to imagine this product, for example, and to start to create it. So this is creativity.
Yes.
So without creativity, there is no innovation. I'm sorry, Eckhart. Sorry for that. Um, you have traveled a lot, as I remember correctly, from your keynote.
Yes.
Which country is more creative, in your opinion?
I think people are creative everywhere. It doesn't have to do with any cultural things. Maybe it's more about when you, for example, when you compare India with Japan. In Japan, people are living with very strict rules. This is a cultural thing. So maybe in a daily business, it will avoid creativity in a workplace or some, because there are so many rules and so many restrictions that there is no room for creativity. At the same time, I felt in Japan that there is a lot of focus, which really supports being creative. So there are many people who do meditation and who go during the weekends, they go to the forest or they really seek for natural connections. And that's why they are very focused on one thing. And this enables creativity within the strict rules they are living in. In India, for example, I experienced creativity in everyday things. People are very poor and they have to be creative just to survive. So they have to find solutions to even get to work because maybe the streets are not not working, maybe the bus is not driving again, maybe the bus is overloaded with people, maybe the machine is not running. So they have to find solutions every day for so many things, and also for just finding a job and getting enough money to buy food for the kids. So the problems are different, and it's again everything about problem solving.
Mm. Well, let's say now that you live in Germany and me too, do you believe that German people are creative
Yes, they are
and more
creative. I think so.
than others? Let's say because in Germany mm, we don't face same problems like in India, for example, as you said.
Yes, I think that also German people are creative. What I miss sometimes in Germany is that people don't really appreciate creativity in everyday life. They are very much focused on. Why are you laughing?
Because I know what you are talking about
Yeah,
after all these years in Germany. So
yeah.
yes.
It's what I really hope with my work now is to get German people more into creative thinking and into the ability to really appreciate creativity in their everyday life. And I think they have to have this aha experience and to to feel creativity can save them. Yeah.
Mm. Let's hope it will be possible. Also with your creativity club, maybe. For those
Yes.
who don't know, tomorrow Jutta will have her um, will ha- yes will have her session in German language. so for German community
Yes,
with your creativity club. You're
that's
very
true.
welcome.
Tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Yes, at 4 p.m. Another question is, where does creativity come from?
This is a very nice question. I like that. It comes from within. Our brain is here to survive. So human beings are here to survive. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And creativity is the ability to solve problems. So you can start from day one of human beings. We just survived until today because of creativity, because we made it till here by using our brains to solve problems.
Do you believe we use our brain more than our heart, our soul, let's say, for being creative?
I think it has to be a combination. I don't know if we use our brain more than our hearts. I think this is a personal question. But I would say, from my opinion, we need both.
Should there be maybe some sort of trigger, let's say, that start one's creativity? If there is, let's say, if there are no visible problems like economical problems or society problems, how one can start to be creative? Just waking up in the morning and like, I'm creative now.
In my creativity club gym, I just wrote an article about getting into the creative flow, which is this atmosphere where you are really focused and you can go for maybe just start and try to be without any devices, without any technical devices, and without any disturbance for 60 minutes once a day. This is really hard for all of us, just to switch off the mobile phone, not answering on any emails, not even opening the door, and really trying to avoid any people entering your room and being just with yourself and your thoughts for 1 hour. You can also go outside and have a nice walk, which is even better. And this is something, it's not a trigger, it's a more getting you into the right mindset for starting to think.
Okay, and let's say if the creativity is so important for us, why sometimes, maybe not sometimes, actually, we can see people that don't do anything creative. I mean, they just live. They work, they have their families, maybe they travel just to see something new, or maybe just to go to the sea, and they don't create anything. No, even not a one painting, not a one photo, for example. Why sometimes it happens?
But maybe they are solving other problems. It doesn't have to be an artistic product at the end. Maybe if you take a mother, maybe a young mother with 2 kids, maybe not married, whatever, and she has to go to work every day, and then she's exhausted. She's getting back her kids from kindergarten, and then she has to cook. So, but she didn't have time for food shopping. So she has to be creative to get a proper meal done for her kids. Maybe the kids have some problems in kindergarten, or they have to do some homework. So this mother has to find solutions for herself and for her kids every day. Maybe her car is broken in the morning, but she has to go to work in time because she has a meeting. At the same time, the kids have to go to school. But the car is broken. So what can she needs to solve a problem within just minutes. And this is creative. And maybe this poor lady, she doesn't have time to take photos and to paint and all this, but still she's creative. And this is what I really would like the people to understand. You are creative. Don't forget that.
So let's say such people who don't produce, let's say, any artistic result, they're creative in a more physical way because they need to solve problems like everyday problems, car broken or something like that. And for those attendees who just arrived, can innovation happen at all without creativity? No, we have already answered this question because innovation is the product of creativity, of your creativity thinking. And
Yes.
now artificial intelligence are replacing humans' own creativity. All the same, have already answered. Um, artificial intelligence is a machine, let's say not a machine, but let's call it in this way, is a
It's
machine
a, it's
what
another
was created,
tool.
yes,
Yeah.
a tool, exactly, created by human being, and human being was creative, let's say, to build this machine or this tool.
Yes. And still machines will do our jobs in future, hopefully, like Misha said, because then we will, when we automate jobs, we will have more time for to humanize work, to be even more creative.
Do you believe that a machine or artificial intelligence can replace you in your creativity club?
No, because the Creativity Club is a community. It's all about constructive communication. It's about exchanging ideas.
And between human beings in
It's
this
a
club.
communication between human beings, and it's always concentrated on solving problems in order to support these people to being more creative. And this can only happen when people understand each other. So it's about creativity and it's about constructive communication between human beings.
Do you think that only a human being can understand another human being to unlock his or her creativity? Or it can be done by artificial intelligence, for example?
I think that artificial intelligence will be able to trigger a human being to be creative. Is that what you asked?
Yes, something like that. Because, for example, when I don't know in what way I can be creative, I call you, Jutta, and we have
Yes.
and we have a discussion about it. But you, as a human being, with your emotions, with your real emotions, let's say, the things that you can really feel for me and for my situation, you can advise me better than artificial intelligence, maybe.
Yeah. So artificial intelligence will not be able to solve your problem at the end, but you can use artificial intelligence to help you develop the ideas or maybe to implement the innovation into your process or into your business or into your life, whatever it is. But still, the beginning is always the question. So we always have to start with asking the right questions. And this is something that only human beings can do because we are here to survive. We are not here to do the job.
Will we reach this moment in the future, maybe, with all these new realities, virtual, augmented reality, whatever? Will we reach this point when we will wake up in the morning and we will understand that everything has already been reached, every level of creativity, in every
No,
field of creativity?
no, never.
So there is
Because
always
we are always
something to do.
evolving, and it's we are all in a process always. It's never stopping. And if you have a problem and you generate ideas and then you go through all the process and then you have a fantastic innovation that you can implement into your life or your business, at the same time, I'm absolutely sure you have the next question. So you have the next, it's a circle, it's starting over and over again.
How to define better your creative ideas? Because when you want to create something in whatever field, for example, you start to have a lot of ideas first. Maybe this one will be better or not. There's another one, then there is third thing, then there's tenth, and it's going, 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 and going on.
Yes, there are
So
some
how
methods and techniques you can use to ask the right questions about this. So if you have a problem, there's this problem. So there's maybe one sentence you can note on a piece of paper, just in your head, whatever, and just there is this problem. And then the goal is to solve this problem. So you are not asking if you will solve this problem, but you have to ask, how can I solve this problem? And then you have to generate ideas, many of them. And if you think you have enough, just spend another hour with yourself and generate more ideas. And then you go through all these ideas and ask yourself again, how can I make this happen? And is this the right way to solve my problem? The one sentence problem. And this is now a very rough structure, but there are processes you can go through, different ways to generate ideas by going through divergent and convergent thinking, and then to prototype all these ideas.
what
Sometimes you have to go back and ask new questions when you have some ideas, because maybe through the ideas you will be able to change your perspective on the situation.
what if the ideas a person can have, what if they are wrong ideas? The wrong ideas in creativity, like somebody is trying to solve the problem maybe in some illegal way, but he's creative and it still is not legal. What will happen in this case?
So you mean somebody would like to be rich and then
For example, yes, maybe
he
somebody needs money
robbing
and
the bank,
yes,
and
he or
this is not
she is,
allowed. So, but
yes,
this
just
is
going to rob a bank. And it's also creativity, because to rob a bank, everybody knows that
of
you should
course
have a plan.
there's
So
not just positive creativity. I think there are negative creative ideas as well. So
this can happen, unfortunately, because maybe we are not perfect. So sometimes
yes.
people can have some wrong creative ideas.
Hmm.
Question: what has been the most radical creative moment you have lived through?
Wow, that's a
Most
question.
radical creative.
Mm, the most radical creative situation. I don't know. Radical is a very strong word. Maybe one of the most important decisions in my life was when I just finished my studies in fashion design, and I had a very, very attractive job opportunity in Paris at Yves Saint Laurent Accessoires. And I really wanted to go there to start working. And then I got pregnant at the same time. And I had to make a decision. And this is not a creative process, but everything that follows afterward was a creative process. And it was a very important decision in my life to be a mother and not to go to Paris, and starting working in this textile field and at the same time being a mother, which is almost important because, as you know, you have to travel a lot, you have to be fast, you have to be there. There's no excuses, and this is a big challenge every day. And so that was one of the most important decisions in my life. But radical, creative, I don't know. I have to think about it. I will let you know. Maybe.
With a message, the coronavirus seems to have creatively figured out our psychology and binds to our protein and makes copies of itself using us. It has no access to high tech or college. Have we made learning complex?
I have
So,
to read by myself just quickly. The coronavirus seems to have
yes, because it's a bit confusing, maybe.
copies. So I'm not sure. Regendra, I think, was writing this. I'm
Yes.
not sure if this is what you mean, Regendra, but I heard from some specialists on television that the virus is learning, and this is what these versions of the virus are all about. It is learning how to survive, but I'm not able to really reply on your question. I'm sorry. Maybe you have to repeat your question
If you
in a
can,
different way
yes, write
to
it
make me understand.
a bit clearly.
Yes.
Yes. Um, are all the members of your family creative, Jutta?
Yes.
All of them.
Yes.
Wow. May I ask in what way they're creative? If they do something special?
They are creative within their life. So both my daughters are creative when it comes to maybe homeschooling now, or just finding other ways, being social with their friends because they are not allowed to meet them personally. They are creative in finding out what they would like to do in future. Yeah, things like that. Even my father, who worked in Texas all his life, he's now retired, but he is a very creative person within his field.
Um, was there something that you learned from your traveling all around the world that you can use in your creativity every day? Any special customs from other countries, maybe?
Yes, I think what I really appreciate is what I experienced in Japan. Really using quiet places, really getting into focus, really concentrating on things. That all this really helps me to get into the creative flow and to generate good ideas and to to avoid being overwhelmed by too much information. Because what I think is one of our biggest challenges, not only now, but even more in future, will be to find the balance between digital life and real life, to calming down our mind and our brain and even our hearts, to not getting overloaded with all this information.
And we still have some minutes. You mentioned also digital detox in your
Yes,
presentation. And I believe with all these mobile phones, laptops, TV sets, for example, we really receive a lot of information and we spend a lot of time online. So this digital detox, do you see it as a necessary part of our life now? And
yes,
can it help our creativity to be started?
yes, it's absolutely necessary. As I mentioned before, to get into a focus, into the creative flow, to be able to really think about a problem, how to solve it, you have to find a quiet zone for yourself. So, what I recommend is to select what kind of information are you really interested in. You don't need to follow all these people on social media. You can enter your phone if you want to have this information, but you can also decide for just 1 hour per day, or maybe 90 minutes would be even better, to switch off everything. The house will not get burned if you just don't read your emails for 1 hour. And
That's true.
there will not be any urgency for anything in the next hour. Just to sit with yourself and really think about your next goal or your next problem or your next challenge. So this is the detox that I mean. And even more in the weekends or when you go on holidays and all these things, try to give your brain some peace, some quiet times, to learn again to use your senses. Go outside and just watch the sky. Move your body.
Just to slow down
Enjoy
your life.
some green color and some oxygen, and yeah, balance from the screen.
A question from Stefano. What are or what were the three main obstacles in terms of places or people for your creativity to be expressed fully?
I'm not sure what you mean with obstacles. Can you explain? Maybe you're still here to type it in.
Stefano, if you are still here, please write us a message. Because probably there are some people that you can meet during your life that are so toxic that you can see them as an obstacle for your creativity. Like
What sorry to say to all the German schools, but yes, school education system is toxic because it tells you this is right and this is wrong. It should tell, try it, find a solution.
and it's not only in Germany, it's
I
in
think
the
it's, yeah, almost everywhere. Maybe in Scandinavia there are some other examples, some other projects or something, but yeah, this is, and it's not, so the school system has been developed for the Industrial Revolution, but not for our times now. And people should understand that our kids need to learn more the human side and not being taught what's right or wrong. They should better learn how to creatively think and use the tools that we have.
Thank you, Jutta. And the last question, I guess, for this Q&A. Is there a creativity crisis in developed nations? Is there more creativity in poor developing nations? What do you think about it?
No, I don't think that there's a creativity crisis at all. I think everybody should understand that creativity is more important than ever, because there are many, many challenges now that we have to solve, all of us.
That's right. So, unfortunately, now we should end our Q&A. I invite everybody to go to the lounge and to
Yes.
do some networking at the tables.
And if you would like to change any ideas with me, or if you have additional questions, I will write my email address in the chat now. And then I'm happy to be connected with you.
And if somebody speaks German, once again, tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central European Time, Jutta will have her Creativity Club session in German language.
Yes, I'm looking forward to this as well, because I also believe in the strength of local language. This is a very important part within creative processes, I think.
Of course. So thank you very much, Jutta. Thank you for attendees. See you in some minutes.
Thank you very much.
Or other sessions. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.